If you're listening to this, I'm sure you're like, all right, Frank, what's the pick? I want to fast forward to it. What's the pick? And sometimes we don't have a pick every week. I'm going to surprise you today because I'm going to give you 11 picks. I'm not going to cover them in a portfolio. I'm going to give you 11 stocks that should be across your portfolio, your large cap portfolio someplace. Hey, whether it's your 401k, whether it's your personal portfolio, it doesn't matter. And these are names that I talked about in the past, but I didn't really go into detail. These are the companies that are on Trump's good side. I want you to forget about politics for a minute. I don't care if you're a Democrat. I don't care if you're a Republican. I'm talking to you as someone that wants to make money in the stock market, that wants to create generational wealth, that wants to be able to have money to go on vacation, send your kids to the best colleges. That's how you have to look at investing. So we have to look at politics sometimes, and sometimes we'll get a little opinionated and we get some emails, which is fine. I love to ruffle feathers. But what we're seeing today is a different administration than what we've seen in the past. And even Trump, this is the second time around, it's much different this time from the last time. Now, we know Trump focuses on businesses. He believes in capitalism, which every president's going to say they believe in capitalism. But what he likes to do is focus on building America, getting manufacturing jobs here, and he's very selective when it comes to the companies and the CEO he deals with. And you could say that's, Frank, you see that for the last administration and the previous ones before that. It's different this time. I mean, there's a direct connection. He doesn't give a shit. Who knows? That's why he had only a select amount of CEOs of major companies traveling with him through the Middle East. I think it was 12 or 13 of these companies. I selected 11 of them. Now, what does that mean? It means that when we see deregulation coming, when we see the big, beautiful bill that's just passed, massive spending, I don't care if you hate it or not. You could hate it, you could protest it, do whatever you want. I don't care. Trillions are going to flow into this economy now. So you have that deregulation, and what is Trump saying every day? Tearing apart Powell, that interest rates need to come down. Powell's term's up next year in May. It's not going to take until May to lower rates. We're going to lower rates before that, but he's going to be talking about this pretty much over the next 9 months. And when he does, rates are going to be a lot lower than they are now, which is usually great for assets, including stocks, including housing, including collectibles, right? So when I'm looking at the CEOs who are friends with Trump, those are the guys that are going to get the business. If you think that's crazy or it's nuts, I didn't really see that in the Biden administration. I saw technology companies working with the Biden administration. I saw crypto companies working with the Biden administration. Okay, you have financials. And even though they work with that administration, you still had a lot of Democrats, especially way on the left, attacking those companies like Elizabeth Warren. So yes, they're working with them, but she still attacked all of them. You still had pretty much Pelosi, like the biggest people, the Schumers, the biggest people on the platform were getting donations from the biggest companies and going after those companies. With Trump, look what happened with crypto and everyone that's donated through crypto, and look at their companies and look at the benefits, right? He says what he's going to do, and he takes care of people. Even people that switch from Democrat to Republican all pretty much got selected for his cabinet. Most of them did. So regardless of what you think to the guy, regardless of politics, you need to know that there's a select few companies that Trump considers very close friends. And these are the companies that are going to break down for you today because they're going to see massive contracts. They're going to get massive wins. And it's going to result in earnings, in sales, and cash flow going higher, which that's going to influence the stock price, and the stock price is going to go a lot higher. So I want to start covering these companies right now. I would say about 80% of the companies I'm going to recommend and talk about today are near all-time highs. Don't worry about that. Okay, the market has run up tremendously. What I want you to do is if you want to buy these companies, take a small position or take a half position. Okay, the market's not going to go straight up. You're going to see tariffs back and forth. We're hearing it this week, and now we have another deadline. I don't know if it's first week in August and back and forth. You're going to see some of these stocks. Maybe they report bad earnings in a quarter or a little weak earnings. Give you an opportunity to buy lower. But just know the secular growth in these companies is there. They're going to continue to grow tremendously through Trump's administration, which is still another 3 years. Okay, so let's start with the first company on this list. Again, lots of names. I want you to write them down. The first few you're going to know, and then we're really going to get into details of some of the other ones. Okay, the first one is NVIDIA. There's a name that we've been telling you to buy for a long time. And I want to get into some of the details. So here's NVIDIA, near all-time high, right? 160 all-time high. We're just about there now. And when I look at NVIDIA, it's still the best chips in the world, massive demand for them. The way they created their infrastructure, integrating, their hardware with software now, but just the replacement demand for these chips happen every 18 months. And the fact that some of the other ones are old and now there's liquid cooling and now you need, a new set of chips, it's this constant revenue stream where you're looking at a stock and saying, Frank, this thing has taken off tremendously. Now it's at all-time highs. And even if you look at the year charts, it's up. But, if you look, it was 127 a year ago, right? It's 160 now. So not this massive growth. I mean, if you go out to 5 years, it's incredible, right? You're looking at a stock below $13 and it's 158 now. And, when you look at the year chart, it's finally broken out. But what I love about this company is it's dirt cheap. Okay, it's trading at 30 times forward earnings. And if you're looking at this company, you say, well, 30 times forward earnings, it's 32 times forward earnings. You're like, wow, Frank, that's expensive because the market's trading at 22 times forward earnings. However, there's not a company this size or even close to it that's growing their earnings as fast as they are. And they're growing earnings by what? By 45% annually over the next 2 years. Those are projections. At 30 times forward earnings, this is a dirt cheap stock. It's cheaper than pretty much all the Mag 7 companies. Growing much faster. Has a massive moat around its business. I mean, this is a company that's going to continue. You're not going to see massive gains like you saw, like 200% gains, 100% gains. This is a stock that's probably going to go up 25% annually going forward, much higher than S&P 500, which is used to going up dating back 50 years, 60 years, 70 years. Since the 1950s, since the S&P became 500 companies, the S&P 500 grows around 8%. This is a company that's going to grow 20, 25% its stock price going forward. That earnings growth's not going to slow. Still massive spending. This is a great name that should be in every one of your portfolio. It should be in your portfolio around 100 if you listen to us. But again, this is just one of the stocks that are in great with Donald Trump. Let's go to the next one. Believe it or not, the company, it's just hard to believe. Google was there. Google was traveling, right? So Google is one of the leftist most companies on the planet. We all noticed that when, during COVID and how they suppressed a lot of conservatives during the election. But now if you look at where Google is, which is Alphabet, they did a great job integrating AI. Why is that important? Because AI threatens their business more than any other than Max. Like seriously, it's threatened its entire search business, which is what? Basically 90% of its total business comes to revenue. But if you look at their AI system, Gemini 2.5 voted the best large language model right now that's by the best tech engineers in the world, which monitor this stuff pretty much every day. Yes, this company may be broken up. And if it does, you're going to get a piece of each individual business, which would probably be worth 1.5 to 2 times the current value when spun off. That's what these businesses do. Imagine if they had spin off YouTube, then their cloud services, AI services. I mean, these things would be worth a massive amount of money. So don't worry about that on the regulation front because they're hearing that a lot, Europe and stuff like that. But you had management traveling with Donald Trump now. Smart. Okay, if you're on the left, you're like, I can't believe some of these companies are. Listen, a lot of these companies, they have to play politics. They have to. Don't get pissed. It's part of their business. They have to support the current administration. They have to. They have no choice. If you don't want to go against Biden, especially, they'll go after you. They'll go after your family. They'll go after everybody, your kids. Trump as well. If you're on the wrong side of Trump, look at Tesla. Tesla's crashing right now. This is a company that we recommended last in this newsletter because we said, hey, all bullshit's done with. Apparently it's not. That's why we sold it. So you're looking at Alphabet and Google and where they're positioned. Again, a name that has to be in your portfolio is going to go higher. Plus, it's not really expensive stock trading below the market multiple. Look at this, below 22 times trading, 19 times forward earnings. And these guys are going to see earnings explode going forward. The next stock, which I love, is Amazon. Okay, bring these up one at a time. Amazon is Amazon's on fire. Amazon is, if you look at Amazon's business, and let me show you the chart here for the 1 year. If you look at their business and what they're into, their biggest businesses, it's just incredible. It's off its all-time high, but everything is working. It's like looking at a Microsoft call. Microsoft wasn't traveling. You did have Sam Altman travel with Donald Trump. And remember, all these tariff announcements that are coming and we're hearing, you're going to see when they have these announcements, all these manufacturing companies, technology companies, these guys are going to get the contracts with all the other countries that they're going to say, that's the leverage that Trump has. Not only do we make tariffs fair, but now you're going to have access to our greatest companies. And then, maybe we'll have special exemptions with some of these tariffs. And that's what you want. I mean, the amount of business just from the data centers that are going to be built in Saudi Arabia and across the Middle East, these technology companies, it opened up a massive, massive market for them. Okay, that's what you're doing. You're increasing the total addressable market. And that's why you're going to see earnings surge sales surge, cash flow surge, and usually what follows is the stock price is going to surge. So looking at Amazon is just such an amazing company. I mean, cloud to AI to retail, everything is working. Looking at a company that's kind of underperformed. If you look at the year chart, it is up 20% in the year, but kind of just this, back and forth over the past year where you thought you would see much bigger gains. And that's why I really like this thing, because when you have cloud, AI, retail, and even robotics all working for the company, Amazon has more access to how people live and spend their money than any social media platform or any company on the planet. I mean, if you look at its market share in e-commerce, guys, it's close to 40%. The next highest is Walmart at 8%. Amazon gets 2.5 billion visits per month. 2.5 billion per month. What is this, 7.4 billion people in the world? It ships 60,000 packages per hour and sells over 4,000 products per minute. Interesting stat here. Okay, if you look, over 300 active users. And you might say, okay, Frank, 300 million active users, not too much if it compares with Facebook, 3 billion, right? Facebook. However, listen to this. The average revenue per user for Facebook is $13. The average revenue per user for Amazon is close to $100. That's insane. And not only that, their advertising platform, which they're in the early stages of building in terms of revenue, right? They've been building it. Advertising not as early as Netflix getting in it, but huge runway of growth where, look at how the advertising platforms are growing for Facebook, for Google, for these companies. Even the advertising platform generates close to over $15 average revenue per user through the advertising platforms. Again, very early innings of growth. Amazon, traveling. CEO traveling with Trump on the right side of the trade. Let's go to another company that you should have, and this should be a big winner for you, and that is, I think you'll really love Wall Street Unplugged Premium. The Wall Street Unplugged Premium is my members-only podcast where I dive even deeper into this week's events. I'll tell you specifically what moves you can make today, specific investment ideas I'm recommending and tracking each week, also the news we're picking up from our network of insiders. And becoming a member is super simple and super cheap. So head on over to WSUoffer.com to check it all out. Sign up today, and you won't miss a thing. That's WSUoffer.com.